they were so happy because it's just so hard to find shoes that fit them.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for what you do and
Yeah.
for sending those samples.
Well, absolutely. And is it Alex or Alexandra, by the way? What do you
I go
prefer?
by Alex.
Alex.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. My best friend's name is Alex, so that's easy.
Oh, good.
How did you hear about us?
Instagram. I
Oh,
think I saw
awesome.
you. It might have either been an Instagram ad or somebody is in someone's stories. I can't remember which one because of course as soon as you go to someone's website then you get all the all the ads
Mhm.
for it. But I want to say it was either an ad or it was somebody's story.
Okay.
Yep.
And so, we wanted to start off just hearing a little bit about what you do and some of the patients that you see on a regular basis.
Yeah, so I'm a physical therapist and I specialize in pelvic health, oncology, and lymphedema. And so I'm in outpatient rehab. And so I see people that are either new with lymphedema or they've had it for a long time and it may be kind of a tune up kind of thing. And so I work with, in terms of the lymphedema population, vast majority are cancer survivors. So I see a lot of breast cancer survivors, head and neck cancer, so I see a lot of different types of cancer survivors that are dealing with lymphedema. And then with the legs, I'm starting to see more gynecologic cancer survivors that I think are really underserved in the lymphedema space because it's not really talked about in terms of a major side effect that can happen.
Mm.
And so with the swelling in the legs, I find that that's usually in terms of cancer survivors, the type of person that I'll see. And then beyond people who have a history of cancer, anybody that has swelling in the legs, either from venous insufficiency or infection or obesity, anything like that that can cause swelling in the legs, I'll see them as well.
Now, are you doing a lot of manual lymph drainage and bandaging?
Yes.
And so are you working with a largely Medicare group population or is it all over the map
Um,
age-wise?
I would say kind of all over the map, but I do see a bit more Medicare.
Hmm.
So the reason I ask is because, we get a lot of folks who are Medicare age and they're asking, all the questions I'm sure you get asked. They're asking if the shoes are reimbursable. They're having a lot of trouble with
Yeah,
getting bandages and supplies and all that
so
kind of stuff.
frustrating.
I mean, I just a little bit curious because, we ended up having conversations with a lot of people that are on the leading edge of needing treatment, because I think shoes kind of is one of those first things that brings you to the brink.
Yeah,
When you can't walk and you can't fit shoes on, then that sometimes can be the thing that'll push you into treatment.
yeah, absolutely.
But it depends on the individual, of course. Some people are more accepting or less resistant to the treatment or more capable of doing treatment than
Yeah,
others.
yeah,
But we sure do talk to a lot of people that are just stuck at home and
yeah.
they don't really think they have options. They think they've tried everything. They're sad and depressed and,
It can be a really lonely and isolating condition, especially with swelling in the legs or
yeah.
in the face. If you can't easily, I don't want to necessarily say hide it, but if you can't kind of use your clothes in a way to kind of disguise it a little bit, it can be very hard for people to go out and about and be in public. And like you said, if they
Yeah.
can't fit into their shoes, I find that that's a really big thing. I get a ton of people like, well, I can't fit into my dress shoes for work. I can't fit into my cute heels for this wedding coming up. And, that a lot of times is a big trigger for them to come in.
We're very excited to tell you we have some excellent wedding shoes coming up.
Yes. So I'm a total shoe fiend as well, which is another reason why I love your company. Like I get a lot of flack at work for how many shoes that I have.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so I'm very excited to hear that you'll have more shoe options.
Yeah, we do. We're pretty excited about them here because our shoes are great. They definitely, if you're looking at the bell curve, Ayla and I talk about this all the time, but if you're looking at the bell curve and you're trying to get as many people served on that bell curve as you can,
Yeah.
we do pretty well with the middle. Like the further you head over to the right and you get bigger and bigger and more problems, then we don't do as well on that. And so really our mission this year is to try to make our shoes just little small tweaks that are going to make them more expandable or fit better or handle more problems, or we kind of know what the problems are
Yeah.
because we've
Yeah.
been told for the last couple of years. Now it's just a matter of getting something that will work. And unfortunately, the one thing I think Ayla and I both know is one shoe will not work for everybody. That is just a fact.
Yeah. Yep.
And speaking of bandaging too, our shoes right now really aren't designed to go over bandages. That's a question we get from a lot of customers. But we have some styles coming out that we are very excited for, that could work over bandages.
Okay.
So
So can I ask why the current shoes are not recommended to wear over bandages?
They just don't expand enough.
Okay.
They just, depends on what your bandaging is.
that's
Yeah.
true.
Like I bandage pretty frequently where I'll put on my relax Job stocking.
Yeah.
Sorry, my relax garment, night garment.
Yeah.
And then I'll wrap on top of that. And that gives
Gotcha.
me some
Okay.
wonderful daytime compression. Like if I need a tune up and I'm not going to go in and get manual lymph drainage, I can just put my relax garment on, bandage on top of it. And then there's some shoes that will definitely work on top of that. But if you think about that compared to traditional bandaging,
Yeah.
once you start putting those 1/2-inch layers of foam in,
Yeah.
you need something that will expand like, 3 inches or more.
Yeah.
And that's just not what our product can do. Now, this product that we've got right now, it's funny that this came up because we just got this sample yesterday.
Oh,
This
very
is a
excited.
clog.
Oh, I like that.
Well, it is a pretty cool product. It's kind of dark, so I don't think you can
Yeah.
really see the features. But here's the cool part of this. This is hard on Zoom, but these laces have so much adjustability in them. And this whole middle part here
Oh, cool.
is all stretched. And so I tested it yesterday. First I put on my relaxed garment and bandaged, and that fit in here no problem.
Yeah.
Then I put on the other night garment that I wear, which is the tribute.
Tribute. Yeah.
Yeah, and the one that has the sleeve on top of it.
Yeah. The power sleeve. Yep.
Yeah, I put that on and that fit in this shoe.
Okay.
So it had a lot of expansion in there.
Yeah.
Now, if you were really wearing that day to day, like if you were wearing something with that much volume, you might need to size up from your regular size. But this is the shoe that we have so far that has the most expansion in it.
Okay.
And that is a unisex style too. That's one thing. When we started the company, we started off with just a women's shoe. That was our first prototype. That was our first style to get to the market. And all along through the years, we've had men with lymphedema saying, hey, don't forget about us.
Yeah.
And I think the real difference that we see is that there are some more options for men. There are just wider widths. I think there's a willingness more to wear tennis shoes and black tennis shoes to work. Whereas women, so many of them, they don't want to give up those beautiful dress shoes, and they've had to. So we've as much as we can, we've tried to kind of coalesce needs, making stylish unisex shoes while also having a style for women too. So
now we're not going to have this clog in some of the larger men's sizes yet, but we will by fall, I would imagine. Okay. So this spring for the clog is kind of a test run, and it'll go up to a men's size 11. So it'll catch some of the bigger sizes, but there's a couple of larger sizes that we're not going to handle. Ayla, should I grab the samples that we got yesterday from the sandals?
Yeah, sure. Since Alex likes fashionable shoes.
Right. Show me all the shoes.
Well, why we've got you.
Right.
The other thing.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, at some point during the call, I'd really love to hear just from from your profession, what you suggest to those people that are really struggling, that are really feeling in the dark right now. What would you say to them if they were listening?
Yeah, so I would say first and foremost, you are not alone. Lymphedema is very prevalent worldwide, and whether it's getting underdiagnosed, misdiagnosed as something else, there is help available. It's just a matter of finding somebody near you that can help you and finding the right resources and the right garments and different things that can actually help you. So
Yeah.
there is hope, there is treatment that is evidence-based, gold standard. That can really manage that swelling.
And wouldn't
Thank
you
you.
add, or I'm adding this and I'm asking if you confirm that even for people who are really in bad shape and they've really had swelling for a long time, I mean, a lot of them think that they're just, it's not worth trying. But I think those folks can, I mean, they can feel better fairly
Yes.
quickly.
Yes. And usually what we'll find is the more volume there is, initially there's with most people, a really quick reduction in that swelling. And even with just how you feel, if you have those skin changes and you're having weeping, so the fluids coming out of your leg and that kind of thing, if you get treatment within the first couple weeks, within the first week, sometimes you see a huge improvement with that, and that just helps you move better. All that fluid in your legs that's causing your body to have to work even harder to actually do the things you want to do during the day, which then makes you more tired and not want to do anything. So yeah, there's no point of no return with getting treatment.
Okay, I'm going to make sure I like that phrase. I'm going to use that. I mean, we get a lot of resistance from folks that are rural. They've tried bandaging. They don't really have the ability to bandage themselves.
Yeah,
But
and there's
those folks, there's Velcro systems and stuff.
I was about to say the Ready Wrap, the completely blanking on the name, but the reduction kit. It's specifically made to help reduce people, and I've used that for people who can't come in regularly. I see a lot of people that are driving in 1-2 hours to come and see me. It's not feasible to come in 3-5 times a week, and so we at least get them started on that. We may do wrapping or the lymphatic massage while they're in clinic, but they need something every day to get that swelling. So like you said, there are other options to continue at home, even if you are remote or not near anybody.
Well, let's show her some cute shoes.
Yes.
Yes.
Shoot.
That work for swelling too.
So this is a shoe that we've got coming this spring.
Oh, cool.
It's really super stinking cute.
Yeah.
And it's very much like our other shoe that's currently on our website, except for it's this cute brown snakeskin. It's really
Yeah.
pretty.
A little
The
bit
thing
of
about
color
this
there.
is this one is made on an extra wide last. And what we find is if you take the time to adjust these laces, however you want, you can see the expansion potential is
Yeah.
especially for somebody with a lot of swelling right down here. You can really customize it for your feet if you adjust the laces where you need it adjusted.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that we've got
I
coming.
like it.
And then, a lot of people have trouble with the heels, so that's why we made a slide.
Yep.
That you really don't need to actually reach your feet. Here's the same thing. This is also an extra wide shoe,
Yeah.
but it has this back strap, which a lot of people.
Yeah.
Now, one of the difference in our shoes compared to a lot of other companies is there's certain little features like this that we make different.
Yeah.
So for example, you're not going to find on a regular shoe company, you might find a Velcro, but
Yep.
you're not going to find one that expands as much as ours.
Yeah. It's
Because
usually way up higher.
We've made these pieces much longer,
Mm-hmm.
and we've made these laces much longer than like any normal company would.
Mm-hmm.
So those are things that impact expansion.
Yeah.
And same for this. This is my favorite shoe. I'm in love with this shoe. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh,
But
yeah. Oh, that's
So
nice.
it's
What
got,
material is that?
sorry,
What material is the upper part?
this is like a nubuck. We use nubuck leather
Okay.
on most of our shoes.
Yeah,
Like
that's
what
nice.
shoe did you get? What shoe did we send you?
Oh, I think it was Saturday, maybe.
I got
Saturday?
the
Okay.
Saturday, and then there was one other one.
Rambler?
No, do you have one that starts with
Barista?
an A? Barista. Barista.
Barista. There we go.
So you know how the leather on those shoes looks kind of like really nice suede?
Yeah, yeah.
That's what
what I thought
this
that
is.
was. Okay, nice. I love that material.
Oh, it's fantastic. It wears like iron. So again, on this shoe, like this one has, these have long pieces of Velcro in here so
Yeah.
that you can get a lot more expansion here. And the same with Velcro here and here. So you get a lot of expansion in this shoe. But for people who can't wear a heel strap or they need something else, you know, we've done basically the
Oh,
same,
that's really nice.
but we've made it in this cute cork
I like
and
that cork.
stitching on top. And then this is also nubuck. And you can see here, like, not everybody's going to want to wear this as exposed. And this is a sample, so it won't be quite that exposed, but you know, you can make it small if you need to, like a bee width.
Yeah.
A lot of people have a bee width on a normal foot, but then
Yep.
their other foot is like swollen
Yeah.
down at the toes.
And
So
that was really part of the problem we were trying to solve is so many people had a swollen foot that was extra wide and they had a normal foot. And so they would end up buying 2 pairs of shoes, which just adds in the expense and draws people's attention to the fact that you have 2 different shoes on.
Yeah.
And so I will say for most of our styles, if you have mild, moderate swelling, our other style, the other companion shoe is going to be able to fit on your foot. You'll be able to tighten it up.
That's great.
Yeah.
and then we have one more for the wedding folks.
Ooh, all right. Yep. I like that. A little bit of shine with that one.
Got some bling.
Well, that's fun.
Those are awesome.
Thank you. We're really excited to release them. They're coming out in the spring. And I will say there's one really cool feature about our company, and that's when patients go to our website, clients go to our website, they're talking to fit specialists who understand swelling. And we actually just launched a new sizing tool that allows people to measure their feet in volume. And then we can pair them up with a shoe that'll fit that volume.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so helpful.
Yep.
Actually, let me just discuss sizing with you for a half a second, because
Yeah.
I think, you know, maybe it's useful to start to spread some of the things that we've learned.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, I'm sure you run into this, like people have often a very fixated idea on what their size is. Maybe it's a half size off. Like I wear either an 8 or I wear an 8.5, but I definitely don't wear a 7.5 and I definitely don't wear a 9. Like, you know, that's the range that we tend to think in. But if you think about what we're dealing with, first off, we're dealing with largely a hard to fit population anyway.
Mhm.
And we're dealing with a population of people that have had a lot of fails.
Yeah.
So they've tried on, for every 100 pairs of shoes, they might have found 1 pair, as opposed to the general population. Maybe you'll try on 4 pair and 1 of them will fit. So we tend to forget the brands and the way shoes fit when they're not the ones we kept. We tend to favor the brands that fit well. So we forget about all those other sizes. So that just reinforces our idea about what our size is. But the truth is, you've got millions, you got billions of foot shapes, and you've got a small handful of sizes that you're working within. So, I mean, you know, all these size systems like UK, US, Euro, China, all of them fall within ranges. But there's an enormous amount of variation because each shoe company is truly making a unique product, and they're using their own lasts, they're using their own techniques, and these things really dramatically impact fit. So at the end of the day, where we came down to, because we're having so much trouble getting people their right size, you know, at the beginning, we were just asking, well, what size do you wear? And they'd say, I wear an 8.5. And then we'd get it back a week later saying, well, it's too short. It's too long. It's not too wide, not wide enough. And just that's actually been kind of the holy grail for us, is like, how do you size people online? You
How do you
Yeah.
know,
size people with swelling?
Yeah.
it's
Yep.
really expensive to send you a pair of shoes just to have you say it's not the right size.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And
So,
it's disheartening too, for a lot of
Yeah.
people, this is their last hope.
Yep.
yeah, people get really excited about the possibility. And if we send them something that isn't going to work, then it just puts them further in that jaded camp, and
Mhm.
it's not good for anybody. So what we've learned to do is to say your preferred brand is not the size bearer. The size bearer is the actual size of your foot. And so
Mhm.
that's why we've started taking these measurements, and we've designed a tool that helps us interpret it. And a little bit of it is art. It's not all science. It's not
Yeah, sure.
algorithmic. And that's why we have fit specialists that are interpreting your information, which includes like, hey, I've got lymphedema, but I also have bunions, so that you can find what is the right, mix. Or maybe your foot length is really a size 7, but you've been buying 9s for a long time. And so
Mhm.
really all you need to do is move up to an extra wide shoe, and then
Mm.
you can get something that won't make you trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, I mean, I would say if I was giving you any advice on how to help your patients get shoes that would work, just at the top of the list is just get these 4 measurements for us, and then we can
Mhm.
tell you in advance if your patient's feet are too big to fit in our shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's a matter of, look, all you need to do is reduce by like a centimeter or 2 right around the midfoot area.
Yep.
Like if you can
Okay.
work with your patients and get that midfoot down by a centimeter or so, a lot of times that will make all the difference.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fantastic and really smart that you came up with that tool and that you have those specialists available.
Yeah. Well, the goal is to help people find the right shoe the first time. And
Mhm.
sometimes that doesn't work. We do offer free exchanges for that reason. But at the end of the day, kind of how we started the conversation, we're here to help people get their mobility and dignity back.
Yeah.
That's why we started. And it's been a pretty incredible journey so far along the way.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah. And thank you so much for your posts and your shares. By the way, I think that's how I first connected with you. Was like, who's this lady over at
I know.
Annapolis sharing our posts? This is so great.
I love elevating, companies and brands that I believe in. So my pleasure.
Well, thank you. And do
Really
us a
can,
favor and just take our measuring tool so you know how to use it and stuff.
Yeah, I
that's
definitely will.
that is a great suggestion. Put your measurements in the measuring tool, and then whatever Ayla has in the back of her head will probably happen.
I'm just excited to try the tool.
Yes. Yeah. Start there for sure. So, but let us know if there's anything that we can do to help you. Let us know as well. Because, we want to support each other. And, at the end of the day, I think we're helping the same people.
Exactly.
So,
Yep. That's what it's about.
absolutely.
Thank you, Alexa.
Thank you so
Nice.
much, Alex. It was
My pleasure.
great meeting
All right.
you.
I'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.